Hello students, we were discussing inductive effect. In the previous video we have discussed the basic idea about the inductive effect. What is inductive effect, what are some salient or key features of the inductive effect. We have learned that inductive effect can be of two types. Either it can be positive inductive effect or negative inductive effect with reference to the hydrogen atom. Means whenever we have to discuss inductive effect, whenever we have to study inductive effect, the reference will be hydrogen atom. Means the reference atom will be hydrogen. Means the inductive effect of hydrogen atom is considered to be 0. Means the I effect is 0. Hydrogen doesn't induce or doesn't produce any inductive effect. So in this video we are going to discuss positive inductive effect, that is plus I effect. First of all, let's go for the definition. The definition is, if any group is electron donating with respect to hydrogen atom, then it will produce plus I effect. Means if any group is there which is electron donating with respect to hydrogen atom, then it will be producing plus I effect. What does it mean? Suppose there is a carbon chain, and to this carbon chain we attach some metal. Let's say a metal is attached to this carbon chain. Now metals are highly electropositive elements. They always have a tendency to acquire a positive charge. Means they have a tendency to repel the electron pair from their side. What will be the effect of that repulsion? The carbon chain will seem to be attracting electron pair, though carbon is not having a much tendency to attract electron pair, but the attached atom is of the nature like it is repelling electron pair. So in turn carbon have to accept, or carbon have to withdraw, or carbon have to pull some electron pair towards itself. So what will be the effect? The effect will be the bond between C1 carbon and metal will become polarized. The electron will be moving towards carbon chain. So the effect will be the metal will acquire a partial positive charge and the C1 carbon will acquire a partial negative charge. Let's say this carbon is C2, this is C3, this is C4, and this is C5. Now the C1 carbon has become partially negative charge. So let's say this is C2 and this is C1. Now C1 is having a negative electron cloud surrounding itself or around itself, So the negative charge will repel the electron pair which are existing between C1 and C2. So it will repel electron pair towards C2. So C2 will acquire a negative charge, but the magnitude of the C2 charge will be lesser than C1 because C1 has acquired charge due to a strong repelling of electron pair from the metal. But now C1 is partially negatively charged, so we can say the electronegativity of C1 is less than electronegativity of C2, means electronegativity is inversely proportional to negative charge. If some species will acquire a negative charge, then its electronegativity will decrease because it will have now lesser tendency to attract electron pair, despite it will have a tendency to throw the electron away from it, or we can say to repel the electron pair from itself. So in that case, this group will be known as electron donating group. So we can call this group as electron donating group, or we can call it EDG. So what I was telling to you, this is partial negative, and due to repulsion from C1, this C2 will acquire a partial negative charge which will be lesser in the magnitude, and this effect will propagate throughout the chain. So what will be the effect now? The effect will be the C2 will acquire lesser charge. Now this C2 will repel electrons towards C3. So now C3 will acquire a partial negative charge which will even be lesser than the C2, and so on. So now we can neglect it after 3 carbons. So we are only considering C1, C2 and C3. All these 3 carbons are having a negative charge and metal is having a positive charge. So what we can say? We can say plus I groups makes the carbon chain partially negative, and they become partially positive. So the M over here is a plus I group. But remember one thing, there cannot be individual plus I group or there cannot be individual minus I group. These two groups are actually complementary to each other. If in a molecule there is plus I group, then obviously the other part will play as a minus I group because it is attracting electron pair towards itself with respect to hydrogen. So we can say carbon chain is acting as a minus I group. We will discuss minus I group later on, but from this point, at this point you have to learn that don't make a misconception that some groups are plus I and some group are minus I. They can change their nature also depending on which group is bonded with them. That will be clear, that will be clear in succeeding videos. Okay, so let's say there are 3 carbons C1, C2 and C3. So first thing that we can write over here is, according to the charge conservation law, that is this negative charge and this charge and this charge will be equal to this charge, because total negative charge should be equal to total positive charge, because the molecules are considered to be neutral species. Molecules are always neutral. So if molecule has to remain neutral, then there must be total negative charge should be equal to total positive charge. So these three negative charges must be equal in magnitude to the total positive charge. If this equation is true, then one important conclusion is there, then del minus will be smaller than del plus, means the carbon which is directly attached with the plus I group will acquire slightly lesser negative charge in magnitude than the positive charge, because the charge of C1 will be compensated by the electron pushing towards C2, and that effect will go on. Means the C1, C2 and C3 all will be negative, their charge will be decreasing. Means one more equation we can write over here. Let's say this is also true, so this is true and this is true. Means the most important thing that we have to consider is this: the negative partial charge on the C1 carbon will be lesser than the partial positive charge on the plus I group because that negative charge is getting compensated by the pushing of electrons towards C2. That you have to remember. Now coming back to our topic, what are some groups, or how can we define like groups will be partially positive, the positive inductive effect or not. So let's say, take the example of carbon molecule, any carbon molecule. Let's say butane is there. If the dipole moment of this molecule is considered, then it will comes to be 0. Means there is no charge development. What does it mean? It means alkyl groups as such are neither electron pulling nor electron repelling. Means alkyl groups are neither electron pulling nor electron pushing in nature in isolated environment. The proof is alkanes are non-polar compounds or their dipole moment is 0. So alkyl groups in isolated environment can be considered that they neither produce plus I effect nor they produce minus I effect. But if any group is attached to them, suppose I have attached a metal over here. Now this metal will repel electron towards itself and acquire a partial positive charge, and this carbon will acquire a partial negative charge. So try to understand the minus I effect that the carbon chain is producing, it is withdrawing electron, is due to the strong plus I effect of metal. Means this is only a reaction of the action caused by metal. A metal has pushed electrons towards carbon chain, and turned carbon chain has to accept that electrons, so it is acting as a minus I effect. But despite if we study them in isolated environment, then they are not exerting any effect. Why I am going to why I am giving so much stress over this thing is that now we are going to write some orders for plus I effect, and there you will see carbon chains acting as a plus I effect. So generally students make a perception like carbon chains are plus I effect producing groups, but if this concept is valid, then alkanes must be polar in some sort, in some degree, but that is not the case. They are completely non-polar. Their dipole moment is 0. So what is happening actually, we will consider later, and we will see that most of the groups in organic chemistry that we deal with carbon are more electronegative than carbon. So what happens is, like suppose there is a carbon chain and to this OH is attached. So OH being more electronegative than carbon means the electronegativity of oxygen is greater than electronegativity of carbon. So obviously oxygen will attract some electron pair towards itself. So by attracting electron pairs, it will acquire partial negative charge. So this carbon chain will acquire a partial positive charge, and this will go on like this. So now this carbon chain is acting as a plus I group, and this OH group is acting as a minus I group. So now carbon chain is not a plus I group, but due to the response, due to the action caused by OH group, because it is withdrawing electrons, so carbon chain has to respond, has to react. And what is the reaction? It is throwing electrons away from it, it is donating electrons away from it. So now it is acting as a plus I group. So what is the generalization coming out? Actually it depends on the majority of the groups, because majority of the groups are minus I, and they are generally attached with the carbon chain, because carbon chain is the basic skeleton of organic chemistry and organic compounds. So carbon chain will be there, and the group that will be attached with carbon chain is generally of minus I nature. So in turn carbon chain has to act as a plus I effect or plus I group. So we can say carbon chains generally act as a plus I group. Now let's say what are the groups. So there are some plus I groups that we have to consider. Like what I have said to you, the carbon chain is obviously plus I. Okay, so first thing is, as the length of carbon chain increases, the magnitude of I effect also increases. Means if we are going in this direction, then plus I effect is increasing. So first point comes to be, as the length of carbon chain increases, the magnitude of plus I effect increases. Second point is, if there is increase in branching, then also the plus I effect increases. Means so here also plus I effect increases. Means we have made two rules. First, number of carbons increases, then plus I effect increases. Second, branching increases, then plus I effect increases. Third point, negatively charged groups are always plus I in nature, irrespective of their electronegativity. Means negatively charged groups are always plus I in nature, irrespective of their electronegativity. Means whatever their electronegativity is, we need not to consider their electronegativity. If any group is negatively charged, then it will always be then it will always be plus I. Means negatively charged groups are plus I in nature. Let's discuss why. Suppose there is a atom, suppose there is a carbon chain, and to this O minus is attached, means oxide group is attached. Suppose it was an alcohol, and by using some strong base we have detached the H plus from the alcohol. So now what we have remained is, we are remained within alkoxide. So this is an alkoxide. So this carbon chain is attached with a O minus. Now let's see what is happening here. This is carbon and this is oxygen. This is carbon, this is oxygen, and oxygen is having a negative charged all over it, means it is highly negative, or we can say it is having a higher electron density towards around itself. Now what will be the effect of this electron density? Due to this electron density, there will be repulsion between bonded pair of electrons and the electron cloud of oxygen. So as a result, these electron clouds will be shifted or will be repelled towards carbon chain. So now this is throwing electron away from it, means now what is happening, the electrons are moving from the oxide to the carbon. So it will acquire a partial positive charge and it will acquire a partial negative charge. Obviously the oxygen was already very negative, so it will still be negative, but only if we are considering inductive effect, then due to inductive effect there will be production of partial positive charge on the oxygen. So this carbon will become partial negative. As a result, the neighbor carbon will become partially negative, even to lesser extent, and so on. So now this carbon chain is withdrawing electron, so it is acting as a minus I group, and this oxide is throwing electron away from it, so it is acting as a plus I group. So that's why I am telling you, all the negatively charged groups, whether they are more electronegative or less electronegative than carbon, they will always be acting as a plus I group, or their classification will be under plus I group. Now what is the order? So there is one important order that you have to consider. CH2 minus, then NH2 minus, then OH minus, and then F, that is fluorine. So not actually the fluorine, let's say fluorine we will take. Actually there is a rule that all negative species are more electronegative than neutral species. So the order is valid, the order is right. But now let's say we are only discussing the negative species. So let's remove this and now take this O minus, then Cr3, then CHR2, then CS2R, then CS3, then T, then D, then H. So H is obviously our reference, it will come to the last. So now all these groups are having more electron donating power than carbon, so that's why they are all plus I groups. Now what is this order? So first of all, let's see this part. This is the same order that we have discussed so far. This is the carbon chain, it is having 3 substituents, it is having 2 substituents, it is having 1 substituent, and it is having none. Means now the substituents are decreasing, so the branching is decreasing, that's why the tendency or the extent of plus I effect is also decreasing. So now we have to discuss two things, this order and this order. So first of all, let's say this order. So now CS2 minus, NH2 minus, OH minus, and then carboxylate, that is COO minus. So why the order is coming like this? Let's say what is happening there. See, the electronegativity when we move from this to this is increasing. Okay, so electronegativity is increasing, and there will be resonance also. So here the charge is distributed over all these two oxygens. So now let's say what is happening there. Electronegativity is regularly increasing when we are moving from left to right. Means, let's say we are talking about OH. This is more electronegative than NH2. The more negative element is better able to accommodate negative charge. Means more electronegative atom can accommodate negative charge better. So OH is good at dispersing the negative charge. NH2 is less efficient than oxygen, and carbon is even less efficient than nitrogen. So we can say the negative charge is more destabilized on carbon, so it will try to stabilize itself, so it will repel electron cloud of bonded pair more strongly, so it will be a better plus I group, or we can say it is a strong plus I group. NH2, because it is more electronegative than carbon, so somehow it can accommodate the negative charge better than carbon, so it will be repelling electron pair obviously, but not as strongly as carbon, so it is a weak plus I effect group. Then OH minus, oxygen is more electronegative than both carbon and nitrogen, so it will be able to accommodate the negative charge in a better way, so it will repel the electron pair of the sigma bond lesser to the as compared to CH2 and NH2, so it will be acting as a even lesser or in a weaker plus I group. Now coming to the COO minus group, there is delocalization of charge, so the charge is negative, but that is not directly on the carbon, it is on the neighbor carbon. So due to this negative charge, this carbon will have a tendency to repel electron clouds, so that the negative charge can be dispersed well, so it will also act as a plus I effect. So what we can say in nutshell, that is the negatively charged species are obviously better plus I groups or more powerful plus I groups than the neutral ones, first thing. Second thing, if negative charge is on a lesser electronegative element, then it will be acting as a powerful plus I group. So what we can say, first point, negatively charged species are stronger plus I groups than neutral ones. Whatever the neutral species you are taking, they will be acting as a less effective or less powerful plus I group. Second, if negative charge is on less electronegative atom, then it is less stable, so it it will attract, sorry, so it will repel the electron cloud of sigma bond more strongly, so it will act as powerful plus I group. So these 2 points you have to consider, that is, if negatively charged species are strong plus I group than neutral one, and if negatively charged is on less electronegative atom, then it is less stable, so it will repel the electron cloud of sigma bond more strongly, so it will act as a powerful plus I group. These 2 points you have to consider in your mind. These are very important things. Now let's say the case of T, D and H, that is tritium, deuterium and protium, or simply hydrogen. These are the isotopes of hydrogen. What is the difference between these 3 isotopes? The difference, first difference is their electronic configuration is obviously same, because they all are having one electron, but the neutron is 0, 1 and 2, and proton is 1, 1. So ultimately the mass is 1 unit, here 2 unit and here 3 unit, because mass is only the mass of proton plus neutron. So here the mass is 1 unit, here the mass is 2 unit and 3 units. So first of all, what we have learned so far, the mass is H, D and T. Now why the same trend is seen between the mass and their plus I effect? Let's see. As the mass increases, the degree of vibration decreases. As a result, bond length decreases. What does it mean? Suppose this is carbon and this is carbon. Now suppose we assume that there is protium, that is H, and there is deuterium, that is D. What will happen now? It will vibrate more because its mass is less, but it will vibrate less. So the mean position of deuterium will be closer to the carbon as compared to protium. Means protium will be vibrating more, so the distance will be more, but in case of deuterium the distance will be less. So we can say, suppose CH bond is like this, then CD bond is smaller, and then CT bond is even smaller. So the order of bond length comes to be CH bond highest, then CD bond, then CT bond. Now what will happen due to this bond length, or because of this bond length? So let's say this is carbon hydrogen, this is carbon deuterium, and this is carbon tritium. Let me, this is somewhat longer, this is in middle, and tritium. So the bond length is highest for CH bond, medium for CD and least for CT. Now comes to the concept, very important concept. Try to learn it. See, the bond length is decreasing. If the bond length decreases, then bond becomes stronger, or the electron clouds remains near to the you can say they try to remain near to the nucleus. So the S percentage S character must increase, means if bond length decreases, then percentage S character must increase. So electronegativity also must increase, means electronegativity भी क्या है, electronegativity must increase. Bond length should decrease, percentage S character should increase, and electronegativity must increase. Now the problem is whether you are talking about hydrogen, deuterium or tritium, their configuration is 1s1, 1s1, 1s1. So obviously their electron is only in the s orbital, so it is having 100% s character, it is also having 100% s character, and it is also having 100% s character, means the s character of hydrogen, deuterium and tritium is same, because their electron is residing only in the s orbital, there is no p orbital involved. So we cannot calculate their s character in terms of how much electron sharing is divided into s orbital or p orbital. We have to consider it as a only s orbital, so there is only 100%. So where should come the effect be there? Suppose carbon is sp3, here also carbon is sp3, and here also carbon is sp3. So here in the reference the s character is 25%, but now in the case of CD the bond length has decreased. If the bond length has decreased, the s character must increase, but because deuterium is already having 100% s character, so its s character cannot increase. So whose s character should increase? Obviously of the carbon. So now the s percentage will be increasing, means it is more than 25%. Again, in case of tritium the distance is even shorter. Again, tritium is having 100% s character, so we cannot do anything into this s character, so the action the effect should be reflected in case of carbon. So here also the percentage s character will increase, so it will be more than 25%. Means what we can say, hydrogen, deuterium and tritium all are having 100% s character, but the s character of carbon is continuously increasing when it is attached with hydrogen, then deuterium, then tritium. Now let's see, s character increases, electronegativity increases, because s character increase means the electrons are spending more time near the nucleus, so obviously they will be pulled by the nucleus more efficiently. So here it will pull electron weakly, but now it will strongly, and in case even more strongly. So what I am saying, actually the minus I effect of carbon is increasing, which will be reflected in the increase in plus I effect of deuterium and tritium. So what we can say, we can say the carbon is pulling more, or we can say that deuterium is pushing more, so its plus I effect increases and its plus I effect also increases. So that's why the order of plus I effect comes to be tritium, then deuterium and then hydrogen. So it is a very important concept, you have to learn it, that it's not essential or it's not compulsory that always the group which we are studying is responsible for the increase in tendency of I effect. Sometimes the other factors are also can be there, like here the percentage S character increase in the carbon is reflecting in the increased plus I effect of tritium, deuterium and hydrogen. I hope it is clear to you. So what we can say, what we have learned so far in plus I effect, like plus I effect is when the electron donating group with reference to hydrogen is attached to a carbon chain, then it will be known as a plus I effect. Negatively charged groups will always exert plus I effect. Their plus I effect of the negatively charged species will be always greater than the neutral species, and as the percentage S character increases, electronegativity increases, which will be reflected in the plus I effect tendency of tritium, deuterium and hydrogen.